Tonight, mi gente, we talk about the Mexican myth of myths, the tale of all tales. Welcome, I am DJ Lost One, to the most underfunded, most ghetto YouTube channel talking about true crime and spooky chismes and stories alike. I mean, seriously, we got no editors, no effects. I'm doing this in one take. I mean, if I mess up, you're gonna see me mess up. We are broke, okay? I've been eating ramen noodles for the last 2 weeks, so do me a favor. Hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. We're trying to get monetized. Could this be the video that we do it? Also, can you comment some spooky emojis letting us know if you have any type of ghost stories that you want me to talk about, if you have a Llorona story of your own, or if you have that one random grandma story that would tell you about La Llorona so you would stop misbehaving. So let's get into it. Tonight, we dive into the shadowy myth, the one, the only, the weeping woman, La Llorona. And I'm not talking about your little sister when you take away the app and she's like, "Ay, my Roblox." No, not that Llorona, okay? This one is the story of Maria, the weeping woman. You see, Maria lived in a very humble village in Mexico in about 1500s-ish, back when Mexico had a very strong class system. To give you a bit of an update, a class system, you had your very poor workers. These are the farmers. Then you had like a middle class, a higher class, and then you had nobility, and then you had royalty. Everybody wanted to go up a grade to improve their life, to get more money, and to be fed in some cases. Just like me with my ramen noodles, I really need some sustainable food. Jesus, man, you cannot survive on ramen noodles. Shout out to my college students. If you know, you know. But in this case, Maria, born of a humble village, she was very, very attractive. I mean, she was fine. And it caught the attention of somebody of a higher class. Much, much higher class. You see, 3 classes above her, a Spanish nobleman arrived at the village. We'll call him Gabriel. Gabriel was a Spanish nobleman of a rank of a count. He basically went in on horseback, bien alucin bien. Hola, chiquitita baby, what's good? How you doing? Hey, I see you. Until he saw Maria for the first time. Again, Maria was so beautiful. She radiated beauty. I mean, she glowed in the dark. Foreshadowing there. And when Gabriel laid eyes on her, I mean, he literally thought, dude, I'm going to take it to my mom and be like, "Hey, ma, look who I found. Y tiene papeles." All right. So at this point, he goes, "Listen, man, I'm not trying to do a one-night stand with you. I'm not trying to peruse the catalog. Me, you, let's get married, green card, y órale. Let's do it." Maria was literally shocked. She goes, "Oh my God, a Spanish nobleman, a count, wants me, little Maria of the lowest class, of the most humblest village where I'm from? We're poor." Yeah, Maria said, "Okay, easy, dub. Let's do it, bro. I came up, I'm up, let's do it." And, well, Gabriel had other plans. You see, Gabriel did love Maria. Maria did love Gabriel. They were happily in love. However, there was a bit of a miscommunication in the beginning. Gabriel decided to live in the humble village. Maria was very confused. "Gabriel, wouldn't you take me to your side of town where all the nobles are at in your little kingdom as your count of a village?" But Gabriel said, no, we'll live here. I want to be close to you. But Maria said that doesn't make any sense. I would still be close to you because I am your wife. They said, "Don't worry about it. It's okay. We'll figure it out." 2 huercos later, as in 2 beautiful children later, and Maria and Gabriel were still in the humble village. Maria was like, "Man, this is weird. Like, I would think if I become a nobleman's wife, I'm a noble lady and I'm going to have a noble house, live in a noble village, and not be in my broke village. What gives?" Well, you know how now we have ojos locos and you have to keep pulling your husband out of ojos locos and you're damn near divorcing him? Well, Gabriel pulled an ojos locos. He would leave for weeks on end and Maria was not having it. She's like, "Dude, you keep leaving the children, you keep leaving me, and you're coming back 2-3 weeks at a time, ranking like the freaking waitresses at ojos locos. What gives? I can smell the perfume and it's not even good." So Gabriel said, "Listen, I don't want you anymore. I'm getting ridiculed from my own family and my own class system." Maria's like, "But why? No, Gabriel, I love you." Gabriel said, "I don't love you. I'm sorry. You are of a lower class, much lower class. If not, you are of the lowest class. And I need to marry somebody of my own class. I'm sorry. I'm taking everything. I'm not taking the kids. You need to fend for yourself. I'm sure your little humble village will take care of you, but enough is enough. Goodbye. Gabriel packed up his belongings, got onto his horse and carriage, and left, never to be seen again. Maria frantically tried looking for him, but she had no idea where he was from. Some people even say that Gabriel wasn't even a nobleman, but that's a conspiracy theory. Some people even said that there was a government cover-up from the Spanish government at the time. They said, hey, actually he wasn't a count, but he was a very high-ranking official, and because he had a wife of a lower class, it would essentially ruin the entire government of the town that he managed. So they decided to cover up and told him, hey, you can't marry her. But many stories, many variations, but what we know is Maria was left alone with 2 mouths to feed in a humble, poor village where there's hardly any money, any work, any food, but there was a lot of water. You see, next to the village was a huge river, a body of water in which all the villages, both upstream, where the humble village was located, and downstream, about 30 villages would always make residence near that body of water because it was fresh water. But in this case, that fresh water source was tainted by one of the most atrocious crimes committed, as in her madness, in her loquera, as my mom would say. She was heartbroken. Maria took the 2 kids from Gabriel, who looked so much like their father, and in her rage and sadness, unfortunately drowned her 2 kids. But time would stop right at the moment when the children would pass away. It would be at this very moment that God and the devil would intervene. However, the devil asked God, what are you doing here? God said, I could ask you the same question. What are you getting at? The devil said, the souls of the 2 children and Maria are rightfully mine. This is my dominion. God said, no, 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 no. The children have nothing to do with it. I will keep the spirits. The devil said, let's make a friendly wager. If Maria can find the 2 spirits of her drowned children somewhere in the world, then you can take both the spirits of Maria and the children. But if she doesn't, then the spirits of the 2 children and Maria are mine. God said, okay, but I'm not going to tell you, the devil, where the spirits of the 2 kids are. So you need to look away, and I'm going to throw their spirits somewhere in the world. So the devil covered his eyes and said, okay, go for it whenever you're ready. But God was clever. God took the 2 spirits of the children and quickly sent an archangel and got them and sent them to heaven. So the devil said, perfect. They're somewhere out in the world. I will now task Maria to wander the earth until she finds the children, and that way she can be accepted into heaven. But God did not want the spirit of Maria for her atrocity committed of drowning her 2 children. So God left. The devil unfroze time and said to Maria, Maria, stop. You're acting crazy. To Maria, the devil appeared like a very fine and handsome nobleman, almost like Gabriel. Maria said, Gabriel, is that you? And she goes, no, 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 no. The devil said, I'm not Gabriel. I am Michael. I am a friend of Gabriel. Listen, in your madness, you came to the river. Now you're all wet. You need to go find your children. Gabriel is looking for you as well. If you can find your children, you will be happy with Gabriel. Maria said, oh my God, you're right. I don't know what I was thinking. I thought I was drowning my children. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Michael. I'm going to go find my kids. So one last prank that the devil decided to do with Maria to hinder her search for her missing children. He removed Maria's face and he removed Maria's legs. She could only float on bodies of water. She could not enter villages. She could not enter land. But the devil manipulated Maria's mind so that she would think she was alive and a normal person. So when Maria hurried back to her village, she realized she couldn't cross into land and she would be near water. And she said, hey, villagers, hello, villagers, can you help me? I'm stuck in the water. But then she remembered her children. Ay, mis niños, my kids, niños, she would yell. Ay, niños, where are you? I need to find you. Unfortunately, because she had no face, means no mouth, no eyes, no nose, all the villagers would hear were horrendous shrieks filled with pain, agony, and intent of. You could hear it in the dead of night, in the middle of an afternoon, you could hear Maria's shrieks of, "Ay, mis niños, mis niños." The villagers were afraid. Whether it was at night or in the daytimes, they could hear Maria shrieking. They could hear and see Maria in the actual water as the water sloshed around. But all they would see was a floating dress that looked similar to Maria's wedding dress, and a woman with no legs floating above the water with no face. The villagers were terrified. They would tell their kids never, ever be near that body of water, or Maria the Llorona would get you. However, Maria, in her confused state, she was angry at the villagers, saying, "Hey, pay attention to me. I need help. I need to find my kids." And when she would find kids who would wander off at night or in the daytime near the body of water, she would go and try to get the children to say, "Hey, are you my kids?" And when the kids were presented by a floating woman in white with no legs and no face, they would run away to tell the rest of the village children, "Hey, we saw Maria. We saw La Llorona." La Llorona was frustrated and decided to go to the next village, thinking that her children would be there. Every village, every town near a body of water, every river, every ditch filled with water, every pool or canal or riverbank or levee, it was the same story. She would go, look for the children, the villagers, and their children would be scared. They would run back and tell the story of Maria La Llorona. Decades, centuries, eons passed, and Maria to this day is out there looking for her long-lost children, ones that she will never, ever find. That is the story of La Llorona. Now, for those who are asking, have you seen the Llorona? Like, is it true? We all have seen it, all right? Everybody has seen it at this point. My grandma's seen it. Your grandma has seen it. I mean, it is so common that we really do think it's real. We really do. I mean, my personal story, I'll give it to you very quick. I live in a rancho. This is my grandpa's rancho. We are near a body of water, and I know what you're going to say. If you're Mexican and you know about the story, why did your grandpa get it near the body of water? It was cheap, okay? It was a couple thousand pesos, and it came with 2 cows and 1 chicken that didn't lay eggs, but it's still alive. Hola, Juanita. Anyways, this body of water near my rancho, my grandpa's rancho, yeah, it appeared all the time. You would be literally sleeping, just looking at a ceiling with nothing on a very uncomfortable bed. You would crack the window open because there's no AC here in Mexico, and then you could hear, "Ay, mis niños, ay, mis hijos." At this point, it got so annoying that I would just close the window. I wasn't even scared at this point. The first couple times, yes, I was terrified. But honestly, it's 2025. I'm probably more scared of, my credit score. Because, dude, let me tell you, that's more scary. But everyone has a Llorona story. I mean, it is all over Latino America. For example, we call it La Llorona, but there's other countries. They call it, for example, La Malandra, La Chillona. I've even heard of people way, way down south. For example, in Central America or South America, people call her La Malora, La Sayona, La Chillona, La Mujer en Blanco, La Mujer Sin Patas, or La Sin Cara, the without face, not the Mexican wrestler. No. Completely different. They're probably cousins, though. Anyways, but La Llorona is the myth of myths. It is the one Mexican culture story that is told to keep misbehaving kids from misbehaving. It was the oral chancla that was thrown back in the day. I mean, to me, when it was first told to me, I was acting right. I mean, I was not going out at night. I wasn't sneaking out, all because I was worried La Llorona would get me. And thus is the story of La Llorona. Thank you for watching. This is, again, my first YouTube video. Hit the like, hit the subscribe button. Trying to get monetized. Again, welcome to the most ghetto, underfunded, underpaid YouTube channel about scary stories and true crime. I go by DJ Lawson, and thank you so much for listening in. And hope to catch you guys in the next one. I love you. Good night. Bye-bye. Ay, my back hurt. Like my grandpa would say, ay, my sciatica. Chinga madre. Ay, güey.